Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to the World Simulation Football Classic. This is Metafiction, flying solo this time, so fingers crossed this should be an interesting match day. We start off with mm, action in Group C between the Dutch Deutsch Federation and Wales and England, and I'm going to apologize to any Welsh speakers, Cymru a Lloegr. Uh, as well as in Group D, we have Alpen United taking on Africa. And then in our main event, you could say, we have Group A finale between Eastern Europe and Canada. Eastern Europe needs a win to have any chance of progressing. Canada content with a draw. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out in that very tense game. And Asiana fans, I'm sure, will be on the edge of their seats there, because their fate is determined by this game as well. But we have two more matches to get to before that, and it's DDF versus Wayland to begin with. Deutsch Dutch Federation going with that strikerless tactic, and Wayland, well, a very different tactic. No midfield to speak of, as we know, Wayland having a very defense-heavy lineup, but should be interesting to see how that fares against the midfield of the DDF. I struggle to see how they'll handle that midfield might, but hey, it's simulation soccer. Anything can happen. We have kicked off. Just getting the overlay set there. Schweinsteiger, gin tonic. Out for Muller. Crosses in. Headed clear by Leticia. Now going to touch for a throw-in. Anderson, who is actually from the Baltics and represents the Baltic Sea, but was transferred into Wayland as Wayland lacked goalkeepers. Now Gin Tonic's in on goal over the bar. Yes, Anderson filling in because Wales and England have no active goalkeepers, as it turns out. Corner for Wayland. Gerard, and it's Hull the diver up the corner to give Cymru the early advantage in the 12th minute. An excellent job by Gerard to find the diver. And it is 1-0 in the early stages. Gerard crossing again, but it's headed back. Now, Cymru have not played yet, but DDF very nervy at this point because they do need. Hang on. Never mind. Sorry. It looked like Spoon was in, but apparently not. But yes, DDF do in fact need at least a draw to have any hope of advancing. As Hull with the corner crosses in, headed clear by Dives in a lot. Now Cymru can come and advance up the flanks, which they do seem to have as one of their strengths. Turns out the way to avoid the midfield might be to just ignore it entirely. But now DDF coming forward. It was Furious Chicken to Spoon. Gin Tonic, he's through. Oh, cleared off the line by Ladiver. And Deutsch Dutch very nearly had their equalizer, but it wasn't to be there. Some very good passing, though, by the Dutch Germans. Now Cymru on the attack. The diver, Leticia, Taco Cat, Smallwood back to Taco Cat. And it's a good shot by Ask Jeeves, I believe that was, if I'm seeing this correctly, but it was held by the keeper Von Bismarck. And at halftime, it is Cymru 1, DDF 0. Some highlights from both teams in that first half, but Cymru with something of an advantage. And they are ahead off of that set piece goal. Again, just a very well done corner into the box. DDF are absolutely going to have to find at least an equalizer, preferably a winner, if they want to have any chance. Otherwise, I believe they are essentially eliminated, as this is their second match, and both Cymru and Baltic Sea have, or North Sea, excuse me, both Cymru and North Sea still have one match to play against one another. Be interesting to see what substitutions, if any, are made going into this second half. And indeed, it looks like no changes are made. Second half begins. Cymru kicking us off. Yeah, I did express concern at the beginning of the match whether Cymru would be able to handle the DDF's midfield skill, but it seems they have done and then some. Smallwood now to Letizier. Cymru with a long ball over the top, trying to find the attacker, but it didn't go through. Again, remember, each team plays 2 matches. DDF are done after this match. Cymru still have 1 to play against North Sea. Greer crosses in. The header from the attacker held by von Bismarck in goal. DDF need to get men forward to commit to an attack. They only have 1 shot on target so far. It's going to take a Herculean effort to get themselves level. Visser. Spoon fires over the bar. We've seen that multiple times today. Muller. Vandersloot. Forced out wide, finds Muller again. Vandersloot in, and it's a goal. Vandersloot crossed into, I believe that was Furious Chicken. Here we see on the replay, the 1-2, followed by the cross. And indeed, it was Chicken, and Zinedine Gentonic has leveled DDF with Cymru. That's a vitally important goal for DDF. Their hopes were fading, but now they're looking to make their comeback. Vandersloot forward again. Tried to find a Chicken again, but it was broken up in the box. DDF, after looking somewhat inert for most of this match, have finally seemed to kick into life. Spoon, gin tonic to Vandersloot in the box. Muller out wide. Muller crosses in. Gin tonic forced a dive out of the keeper, but it was blocked fairly quickly on. Now Visser comes forward. Spoon fires from distance, but once again over the bar. DDF having 15 shots by my look, but only 2 on target. That has summed up the day. Is Hall with another corner as we have passed less than 10 minutes remaining. Vandersloot. Back to Visser. And it's blocked again, but Visser cleans up. But now Cymru. No, yes, maybe. I'm not sure. Ball is pinging around a lot. I'm sorry. Vandersloot. Tried to find Chicken, but it's just not there. But still, DDF pressing, looking for that goal. Visser. And it was a valiant effort from the edge of the box by Bierman, but it does go wide left. And as time ticks down, it looks like DDF might have earned themselves a draw here. Von Bismarck sends it long. DDF just have to avoid conceding, and they will have gotten themselves a very creditable point. It's not much, but it is something. Penshaw, Muller. Oh no! Oh, that is very unfortunate for DDF. It's an own goal. Not like this. Gerrard sent it into Penshaw, who tried to cross to Fletcher Smallwood. Muller makes the block, but it redirects past von Bismarck into the net. Oh no, you do not want your tournament life to end like that. But it seems that's exactly what's going to happen. Smallwood, Gerrard out wide. It was another shot held well by von Bismarck, trying to send it long, trying desperately to get that last chance in, but I don't think it's going to happen. Spoon. And that is the whistle. It was a valiant effort by DDF to get themselves back into the match, but that own goal from Muller, by my reckoning, has put paid to their hopes here in the WSFC. It is 2-1 to Cymru, and in heartbreaking fashion, by my math, unless I'm mistaken, I believe that does indeed eliminate DDF from the tournament. Oh, what a heartbreaking way to go out. But that's just how it is in the SSL sometimes. A very rare own goal. What do you even say to that? It was a very hard fought match. A draw seemed like it was coming, probably would have been a fair result, and then, still not to discredit the effort shown by Cymru. They did very well to get themselves up in the first place and created the pressure that led to the own goal. And they've creditably earned themselves a spot in the next round here. So confirmation then. Cymru 2, DDF 1, with Group C mastery to play for on the final match day. DDF, as far as I can tell, unless some quirk of the math says otherwise, I believe they are in fact done, which is very unfortunate. They've been very strong competitors throughout this entire tournament, despite the score lines. And the strikerless tactic, though I mocked it in match day one, it did seem to have its bright spots. But nevertheless, 2 losses is not good enough. So now we move on to Group D, where we see the Alpen. I need to get the name correct. I apologize. The United Alpine region against the United African Federation. There it is. I got there in the end. Well, I say it's Africa. Really, it looks when you line it up, they're basically facing Reykjavik and Red Star. No less than 6 players in Africa's starting lineup play for the Red Star Reykjavik organization. So in addition to having some serious attacking firepower, Africa also has a level of chemistry that a lot of other teams at this tournament might lack. That said, it's the Alpine Federation with the first press, but it doesn't really go anywhere. Alpen making their first appearance at this tournament. Africa have already played with that dramatic win against the United States on match day 2. Weddington sends back to the keeper. Alpen sending the ball over the top, trying to find Owen 44. I believe the SSL record goal scorer, if I'm not mistaken. The stat heads may have to fact check me on that one, but I believe, based on my research, he does indeed have the most career goals in SSL history. But it's Africa on the attack. Pat Tato and it's Ricky Bobby. No, it's not Ricky Bobby. The goal's offside. Tato passed into Deanne, Ricky Bobby was indeed just offside. Otherwise, would have slotted in a very good goal in the bottom corner. Now Whittington with the throw for Alpen. But Ricky Bobby wins it off of Poggio and is running forward. Forced out wide. Africa getting ahead in numbers. Bobby back to, I believe that was Kofiansha. Crosses in to Casual, and that one's going to count for Africa. It is 1-0 after a brilliant cross from deep by Kofiansha. Casual leading the SSL in all competitions with 28 goals last season, and he's got one there for Africa to put them ahead in the early going. Poggio now with a corner for Alpen. Crosses in, and it's held by Scott Sterling. Now building from the back. Casual. Sends it long for Tato. Can't get it past Rage. Now Alpen trying to build from the back. And shit to Deanne. Now back into the middle. And finds Ricky Bobby. Through ball to Casual. And it's saved by Rage and forces a corner. Deanne to take. And it's headed clear. I believe that was Scarpetta. Now 44 on the end of it. Passes in. Now back out to 44. Sends the cross, but nobody was there, and Scott Sterling handles it easily. Sterling with a long ball forward to Tato. Tato. Deanne blocked. And back out for a throw-in. Deanne cuts inside, but Scarpetta clears the through ball. But it does land back with Spacchiero. Oh, 44, forcing an error out of Gero. Takes the ball, passes back to Snooks. Now Whittington. Oh, but the pass wasn't good enough. Tatayore cuts it out. Poggio to Delo. Through ball to Snooks. Finds its mark. Cross in, but it finds O'Sullivan on the far end. Knezovic. Being pressured by Tato. Finds it way. Isagi, 44. Uncharacteristic miss from 44. Now Africa come back forward. Adamu far out wide. Through to Casual. Whittington tracking. Cross in. Headed clear by Knezovic. Rashford. Casual. Adamu. Right inside. Headed clear by Levere. But Africa still have it. Yore over the top. Casual trying to find Tato, but it's defended well. I believe that was Scarpetta again. Africa still piling on pressure on the Alpen end. And they've won a free kick, but it doesn't seem to have come to anything. Alpen proving themselves resolute defensively. But this African attack has a lot of firepower as Tato comes forward. Rage again with a good save. It's another Africa corner. Close to Casual. Headed in. Rage punches clear. Back to Yore. Deanne. Tried to find Casual, but headed away. Africa have been building well, but apart from their one goal, haven't found a lot of success in that box with that final pass. Again, the header almost went in, but another good save from Rage. And another corner for Africa. Deanne. And it looked like Casual got his head to it, but Rage holds on, and it is 1-0 to Africa at the break. Africa with most of the ball, it would seem, and certainly most of the good chances. If you see that XG up in the upper left, XG, I don't believe XG set means everything, but that's another soapbox. I will say that it does tell us a lot, and in this case, it tells us that Africa have serious firepower, just as we knew they did. Remember, Africa, having played once with already beaten the U.S., a win here would put them on 6 points. It would guarantee their passage into the knockout round, and they would be joined by whoever got the better received the better result of Alpen in the United States. Sammy Bohum tags in for Pat Tato. Bohum, remember, with the winner against USA on match day 2. This is, again, a very loaded Africa team, but Bohum now has the ball to Casual, and Casual heads it off the post. Alpen are going to have to find a goal from somewhere. Levert sends it long, but it's scooped up by Jarrow. Alpen have arguably one of the best SSL strikers of all time, but they haven't really had much luck so far. It's a beautiful save again from Rage from a long distance shot. Headed out. Deanne. And Deanne was offside. So we'll go back play. Alpen really need to find something as another corner for Africa. And it goes in. Ricky Bobby has put Africa up 2-0 and almost certainly has them going through to the knockouts at this stage. From the corner, Deanne crossed in. It was defended. I believe that was Whittington it came off of. And Bobby in the perfect place to put back the rebound. Bohum. Kofiansha. Cross in. Falls to Adamu. Adamu blocked by Whittington, and it's out for another corner for Africa. Africa just smothering the Alpen defense here. And under pressure, sends it back. Rashford to Yore. Back out to Adamu. And they're forced to send it all the way back to the keeper, who sends it long. And Rage has that covered. Now Alpen looking to build from the back. Scarpetta tried a long ball, but it falls immediately for Africa again. Casual off the post again. Some surprising finishing from some of the top strikers in the SSL. Casual does at least have a goal, but could have easily had a hat trick. Rashford sends the free kick off the post as well. The amount of times the ball has hit the woodwork in this match defies description. Rashford, Bobby, Deanne, Casual, trying to beat Whittington. Adamu crosses in to Ricky Bobby, heads over the bar. This has been a very eventful game, even though it's been mostly one-way traffic in terms of chances. Africa coming forward again. Bohum. And that's cleaned up by Whittington. O'Sullivan holds up. Back to Poggio. Now Delo. Forward to 44. And he puts it in the back of the net. It is 2-1 the United Alpine region with a lifeline. And who else but Owen 44 to deliver it? Del Pirlo had the ball, and Owen 44 got on the end of it. And from that range, it's almost academic. That's the kind of firepower Alpen needed if they're going to get back into this game with 20 minutes to go. Now Bohum into Ansha. Passing inside. Yore chips it for Bohum. Ricky Bobby denied by Scarpetta. He's been all over the box defensively for Alpen. It could have been far worse a scoreline without him. 44 holds up play. Bohum tried to find the angle, and it sailed over the bar. Alpen needs something, but Africa have been dominant so far. Deanne. Rashford to Yore. And the ball's sent back. Bohum. Ansha to Ricky Bobby. And another good save from Rage. Rage has also been instrumental in keeping the scoreline the way it is from getting any worse. As Deanne heads in, and Ricky Bobby fires over the bar again. 25 shots from Africa, and only 8 of them on target. Well, excuse me, 10 of them on target. The stat changed as soon as I mentioned it. But nevertheless, the only stat that matters in the end is the scoreboard. O'Sullivan tried to manufacture a late chance, but it's blocked, and now Ansha trying to send it long. Delo to O'Sullivan. Last gasp for Alpen here, but it's blocked. All right, to Rashford. And that is it. Africa wins 2-1 over the United Alpine region, and therefore Africa already guaranteed a spot in the knockout rounds. And I believe have guaranteed that they win the group no matter what, since no matter what the result of the US and Alpine Federation is on match day 4, they can't be matched on points. It was a solid display in both matches from Africa. And credit again to Alpen for their stout defending and finding that moment of magic from Owen 44. It looked like the comeback might be on, but ultimately it wasn't to be. But they still have a chance. Next in the next match day, it'll be them versus the United States, and whoever wins that match, or perhaps depending on the tiebreakers, the point is it's going to be a very interesting final match day. And confirmation then, Africa 2, Alpen United 1. And now for the final match. It's all or nothing as Canada takes on Eastern Europe. Uh, to remind you of the standings as they, well, stand, Canada on 3 points, Oceania on 3 points. Oceania already played both of their matches. Eastern Europe needs to win to have any shot at advancing. Canada will be content with a draw, as will Oceania, to be frank. It really doesn't get much simpler than that. Eastern Europe need a win. Canada lethal in the air, as we saw on match day 1 with those very tall players. We'll have to see if that comes to bear here against Eastern Europe. So Eastern Europe will get us kicked off. And there is Powdered Toastman, the American transfer. Kamenova, the #1 draft pick in the most recent prospect draft. All eyes certainly on Ljubika Kamenova for Eastern Europe. But it's Canada with the free kick. Schuenar, I hope I pronounced that correctly, fires it off the wall. Arisov, Horvat, headed clear by Canada. And call through to Arisov. Arisov tried to square it, but nobody was there. Toastman, Fantabins. Arisov threw on goal, fires, but it's saved by Brickwall Jr., another prospect drafted in this most recent prospect draft. Risky. Headed clear. And Garfield clears. Arisov, well, whatever he's doing, it was blocked. Not by a Canada player, but by the interface, I'm afraid. As Canada do come forward now, Cortez. And that's Sherwood. Back to Cortez. And it's held by Hall. Remember, a draw is enough for Canada. Eastern Europe need a win. Risky. Through to Genkal. Arisov. Now Garfield sends it back to Brickwall Jr. Sends it long to Sky Rise. Cortez through to Sky Rise. It's a blunder from the keeper. It falls to Sky Rise, who puts it in the back of the net. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Let's see the replay. The ball over the top. Cortez gets on the end of it. Through to Sky Rise. Hall mishandles it on the first touch, and Rise finds the rebound, slots it in from a tight angle. And it is 1-0 to Canada. Rise just barely onside, according to the replay, and there indeed. Well, come to think of it, I'm not sure if it was the goalkeeper's touch or Rise's that took the ball around. In any case, it went far away from where Hall could do anything about it. Canada with the early advantage. Eastern Europe now in a hole. Sent long. Lexington to Cortez. Canada playing a patient game. They know that the scoreline as it stands would be enough, but they're looking for more. Sherwood. And it's over the bar. It was very close, though. A well-worked movement, but ultimately came to nothing. Laurent. Rise. Rise gets around Powdered Toastman, but is dispossessed. Cortez. And it's headed clear. Sherwood. Cortez again. And Kamenova with a good challenge to dispossess. And now Eastern Europe coming forward. Lopta to Arisov. Finds Harrison, who sends it far wide. Apologies, had a bit of a brief visual glitch there. Genkal dispossessed by Williams, and now Canada looking to break. Rise back to Schuenar. Now Williams. Schuenar. Sherwood. Rise through to Cortez, saved by Hall. and that is a Canadian corner. Canada usually deadly from the set pieces, but that time it was blocked and sent clear by Eastern Europe. There's a very unique tension in the air here that you can only get from elimination football. Eastern Europe know they need something, and this might be it. Aerosoft again, Call, who sends it over the bar. Was almost a moment of brilliance from Eastern Europe, but instead, it is at halftime, 1-0, Canada leading Eastern Europe. Remember, Asiana have already played both their matches. They might be at risk if Eastern Europe wins this match. To be honest, I don't have the goal differential table in front of me. I'll have to do the math later, but I believe they will be well, but they're through with the point is they're through with Canada if Canada wins regardless. So they'll certainly be rooting for Canada in this situation, I would think. No changes at halftime. Canada kick us off. And again, not to belabor a point, Eastern Europe needing a win in order to advance. Canada can still advance with a draw, but with a loss, it becomes significantly more dicey. Cortez getting inside, trying to beat Kamanova. Rise heads, but it's saved by Hall. Risky. Through to Aerosol, but it was blocked by Sherwood. Risky. Long ball over the top. Finds Aerosov. Is this a chance? He was offside. The flag was up. That would have been the equalizer. But instead, it is still 1-0. And now Canada come forward. Sky Rise. Forced out wide. Vercetti. Rise crosses in. King's shot saved by Hall. Kamanova. The throw in cut out by Sherwood. And Canada come forward again. Chouinard with a 1-2 with Rise. Now King. Cortez into Rise. Back out. Cross in. Rise. Hall once again with the save. And it's been a very solid performance from Hall. Chouinard takes the corner. Headed in. It looked like Vercetti's head got his head to it, but it was cleared by Eastern Europe. Canada dominating most of the chances, and that will not help Eastern Europe's chances. Lyubica Kamanova having to come off injured in the 64th minute. Again, the first overall pick in the season 13 draft will be replaced by Jersey Motor. But that is a huge blow to Eastern Europe's defense. As time ticks away, we now approach about 10 minutes left. Canada holding on to their 1-0 lead. Cortez. Over the top. King's shot saved by Hall for another Canadian corner. Chouinard. Ball in, and it's headed wide by Vercetti. Eastern Europe needing that goal to secure the equalizer so that they can then push on for a winner. Ball over the top, but it's not on the no Eastern European player can get on the end of it. Now Cortez coming forward for Canada tried to square it back for Rise, but the pass was not on target. Laurent. Cortez again to Rise, fires, bottom corner for Canada. And that is 2-0, and that might be Eastern Europe done in the WSFC. Laurent passed it forward to Cortez, who has been finding a lot of success out on that wing. Square it to Rise, who appears to have just barely been onside. Rise fires it into the bottom corner past Hall. That is a dagger if I've ever seen it. Eastern Europe will have a lot on their plate if they have any hope of getting back. But instead, it's Rise again, and that was emphatic. 3-0 to Canada. Sky Rise with an absolute cannon on that last shot. And unless I'm mistaken, yes, that is indeed his hat trick. A heroic performance from the skyscraper. Laurent crosses in. Rise Hall holds that one, but hopes of a comeback maybe a little optimistic at this point. But Eastern Europe still fighting, still coming forward. Sends it long, trying to find Arasov, but nothing doing. And it's sent long. Cortez. And it's saved by Hall, but King gets on the end of it. Rise, and again. That's 4 for Rise. 4 for Canada. And that, as they say, is that for Eastern Europe. We knew they were dangerous in the air, and they've proven it today. A wonderful performance from Canada. It's harsh on Eastern Europe. I don't know that their performance warranted a 4-0 loss, but that is indeed what we seem to be faced with. Unless they can change that scoreline here. Again, call, but it's blocked by Williams. Not the first chance for Genkal. Just unfortunate in the finishing for Eastern Europe. We are now at the mercy of the official. We have passed the 4 minutes of added time. And there you have it. Confirmation. Canada advance. Oceania advance. Eastern Europe eliminated. A valiant effort from the Eastern Europeans, but in the end, it wasn't to be. They ran into the superior aerial capacity of Canada. And Sky Rise, with an incredible, perhaps all-time performance, has put this group to bed in emphatic fashion. Whoever they draw in knockout rounds, they'd better have tall center backs. That's all I'm going to say. And as you see there, 4 goals for Sky Rise, deservedly player of the match. And there you have it. Group A has concluded. Canada, with a 4-0 victory over Eastern Europe, punches their ticket to the knockout stage. And they'll be joined by Oceania. Who will they play, though, is the question that remains. One more match day remains in which all will be answered. Oh, wow, now that I say it that way, that's a little dramatic, but hey, these are the stakes we have. It's really gripping stuff, if you ask me. In any case, this has been match day 3 of the World Simulation Football Classic. One more match day to go. And groups B, C, and D still up in the air. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, this has been Metafiction. Thank you for joining us for what has been a thrilling tournament. And yeah, we'll see you next time.